Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal. What am I here for? For a second. Ah, live, right? And it is February 19th. I want to say last week. I even said it was November. And I had to check myself on that right now. So apologies. I feel like we are in all times and in no time at all. And I don't know when that changes. And I don't know if there's much that can be done about that feeling aside from to feel it. And I think that that is the number one message is that use your voice, feel your feelings, and understand that the things that you're feeling aren't necessarily yours. And that in a way, a lot of us are tasked with feeling the weight of what the world is going through, what we are experiencing personally, what we are experiencing um, through the mirrors of one another, through our interactions with one another or lack thereof. And you have to use your voice at this time. Even though you're tired, even though you're confused, even though you don't know if it's going to help or do anything, it will help more than you realize because we need to hear each other. We need to hear the stories. We need to hear the humanity in each other's experiences. And you need to put that desire out there. Words are spells. Call your congresspeople. The 5 Calls app is really awesome. There's lots that you can do. If you are concerned about getting your voice out there, there are so many avenues. And there are ways that are very much designed for you and your ease. And it's a quick thing that you can do. It's not something that has to be terribly difficult. And it is important that we speak up for one another, that we say something when we see something, and that we make sure that people who don't have a voice always get to be spoken through us. And all we really have is each other. And I think that that is the most important thing to see, is that it is up to us to be and live the change, as trite as it sounds. But your stories matter, your experiences matter, your concerns matter, and you deserve to stand up and be counted. So do that. Don't let people silence you. Don't let people hold you back. Don't let people bully other people. Just don't. All right. So I'm going to jump into the readings this week. And before I do, just wanted to remind everybody that we are in Pisces territory now. So we're in a space of deep reflection and a submerging almost. I mean, Pisces are the fish and they are 100% underwater. There is no coming up for air. There's no the scorpion is the fire sign of the water signs, but it is a land creature. The Pisces fish are deep, primordial, emotional, and they have a level of intuition that is somehow a bit detached and otherworldly. And that level of feeling through the currents of our own emotional landscape is where you really come to know yourself, and you come to know situations, and you come to know other people, is through that channel of the self. And it is necessary for us now to really tap in, to pay attention to the messaging that we are given and giving, and especially those that we are giving ourselves. So the self-talk is something that really needs to be addressed, because when you feel disempowered, you will stay quiet. And that's not what this is about. Not this time. Not this time. There's a lot of ways to use your voice. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the messages. All right, if you chose one, connecting with your energy one. I'm seeing a map, and on this map, it actually is very kind of tattered. It looks worn. It also looks a little bit generic, so it's not something that's pristine by any means. It's kind of the concept of a map, the desire for there to be a path. And with you, one, you're looking for some clear guidelines and clear structures. And it's been difficult finding that. And unfortunately, I'm going to say it's going to continue to be difficult if you're looking for something to guide you and point you in the right direction. Because you're in a space where you are the one who is the guidepost. You are the one that you are to ask. You are your own cartographer here. You get to decide where things start and end. You get to decide what the path looks like for you. And through this path, you have an opportunity to truly flush things out in a way that you haven't been able to before. Emotionally, there's some things that you've gone through that you're clearing up. And there is some tenderness behind it. And that tenderness, I actually feel it in the chest, and I feel it warming up into my face. And that feeling of almost rising anticipation, a feeling of anxiety that's even coming from one about these things that you have been processing. You will not encounter them in the same way. And the reason why you kind of went through what you did was in order to kind of gather some of these tools. And through these experiences that you've had where you've got to try out different tools. If you think of they're showing me kind of like Zelda, like the startup screen where you can fashion tools for yourself. You can change your armor, you can change your outfit, you can change and give yourself perks. You still have this capability yourself. You just didn't have all of the tools. And now that you have more tools in your toolkit, encountering the unknown is going to be less daunting than it had been in the past. And some of what you've learned, especially what you've learned about yourself, is going to be needed and is going to be something that you will express to others as they are going through something similar. So some of you are guiding others through a process. Some of you are not aware that you're guiding others through a process. And some of you are going to be starting something that is going to involve a community group or going to involve more public people or people who are going to be coming in from either friends of family, friends of coworkers, or some sort of group that you're all interested in. There's going to be more collaboration there. And this new group of people will have a different sort of ear than those that you've been speaking to before, or those that you have been working with before. And you will find a great sort of resurgence of your own pride in the things that you do, because you're going to see a different side of yourself because you're on the other side of this hard spot. Okay? So give yourself a little bit of a break there, because it's difficult to flush out. And it's going to feel overwhelmingly emotional for a minute. But understand that you don't need to assign a story to those feelings. You can allow them to move through. Some of it is the body is used to holding certain levels of constriction and levels of frustration. And once those have been purged or heavy emotions have been let go, and a lot of this happened within the last week or so since the moon, that you'll be able to process some things faster. Resiliency will be up quicker. It's not going to take you down as badly as it did before. And I mean, take you down as in you will have your own ways of combating things so you don't slip back to a place that you didn't want to be anyway. Okay? You are the task. You are the path. You are the work. Moving on to 2. Focus. Okay. Orbicular. Malachite. Okay. Connecting with your energy too. I'm really feeling a lot of pressure on the back of my neck. It's almost as if I'm being pushed forward. When I feel that and feel that sort of constriction in the upper shoulders and up in the top of the cervical spine, there's a desire for there to be a release. And that release is of responsibility. I'm hearing overbearing, self-critical. There's a lot of self-critical energy, difficulty making a decision, crossroads. So there's a what is the right path? Again, so we're kind of going back to one. So piggybacking off of one. What's happening here in two? A little more clarity. This has to do more with social friendships and relationships. It also has to do with the way that you're perceived. Some of this for some of you is in writing. So this may have a connection to work, or this may have a connection to something that you are a speaker about, or someone that has maybe some things that you've been saying or sharing, maybe in the public social media space. And you're kind of feeling like as if you're on a center line and unsure about which way to go here. I feel this energy as well. It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's really feeling a need to want to express your individuality and express how you're feeling and what you're thinking in a way that isn't necessarily as palatable. I'm hearing palatable. Not as easy to swallow, not as easy to swallow. They're saying on repeat. So this difficulty in actually getting out what you want to say in a way that is more palatable doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem like something that you want to do. So there's an actual shift here in how you want to portray yourself and information and how you want to speak and be spoken to. And this is and I'm saying the hard line. This is a hard line that has happened here. This is a transition that you've taken. And this is with a group of people. Some of them are people who are close to you, and others it's kind of like a larger mass of person. It isn't necessarily specified. And so in this way, there's a desire. I'm actually seeing like putting your boots on. There's a desire to walk. There's a desire to put in the work. There's a desire to climb. And this is not necessarily literal as it is in a effort way. There's more of a desire for you to really want to do something about the heaviness that you're feeling, do something about the lack of empowerment that you're feeling, having to bear a lot of this heavy stagnant energy that you don't necessarily know what to do with. There's a desire to cast it off. There's a desire to push it back. And it's actually kind of, I'm seeing like a backpack that's being set down on the ground that you've been carrying over one shoulder and it's been really digging in. You can set this down. What's the message though? It's something that can be picked back up in smaller pieces, is what they're saying. So picking back up in smaller pieces, you can't tackle all of this at once. It's the phrase, what is it? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. So all of the things that you want to encounter, that you want to overcome, the things that you want to have a say about, the things that you want to be heard on, are all wonderful things and are great things. And it's your opinion, your fire, your ire, your desire, all the ires are all important and all need to be shared and deserve to be heard and will be heard. And you can't go balls to the wall on all of them at the same time. So you're going to have to pick and choose smaller parcels of stuff that you want to work on, that you want to focus on, ideas that you want to develop, something. It's almost as if you have like a huge vision board and it's got all of the like connecting lines to it as if it were some sort of map of a serial killer. And I'm not saying that in a way that is indicating serial killerisms or sociopathic tendencies, none of that. I just mean there's a lot of information, there's a lot of desires, there's a lot of things that are interesting, there's a lot of ideas, and you want to do all of them, and at the same time, you find yourself not being able to address them all the same. And the thing is they're going to be different, so you're not going to be able to address them all in the same way. And you're learning that. So set down the heavy bag of responsibility that you feel, of the want to do and show and be seen, and take a small portion of it, enough that you can handle literally without fatiguing yourself, and get to know it and share it, and then go back for more. Okay? This is, again, I think I've said this will be like my third week saying it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We have to you got to microdose reality here. Yeah, microdose in reality. One midweek message at a time. All right, here we go for 3. You chose 3. One of my faves. Okay. With you 3, I feel a real draw, almost like if I were wearing a really heavy weighted belt around my waist. I feel a pull to the earth. And this signals a exhaustion of a level that is soul weary. And it also signals a desire for grounding that is necessary in order for you to be able to keep on keeping on. Okay. So 3, every week there's a group, if it's not all of us. 3, you got the sleepies, you got the tireds and the grumpies, you got the itchy bitchies and all of that good stuff. And I feel you. I understand where you're at. You have to let yourself be in it though to get out of it. So you can't go shaming yourself and say that you haven't done this or that. You got a pile of all of these things that need to get done. You can't go making yourself feel like crap when you need half a day on the couch to deal with the fact that we don't know what the fuck's going on. True talk. And we are not necessarily in a space to get the right information in many sectors of our personal and professional and human existences. There's lots of things that are up in the air. And what I do know is that we have to see these things through. It's a you grow through what you go through kind of situation, and you know this because you've been here before. You've been here before. And I get a feeling of cold, like ceramic tile. Like when you're sick and you are on the floor kind of feeling. Or you are exhausted, or you're crying your eyes out in the shower kind of mornings, kind of evenings, kind of days, kind of whatever. I see you. And it is a real thing. And you're allowed to be a mess on the floor in the bathroom if that's what you need. Okay? You got to get to a point where you let yourself have, and you don't make yourself feel like shit about it. And you let yourself be human, and you let yourself have this experience however you need to have it. And when you feel better, you get up and you make yourself a bowl of cereal or a cup of coffee or eat a granola bar, and you try and just keep on keeping on. That might not sound like some real big, deep psychic advice, but it is advice from someone who lives with depression and anxiety and feels a lot of things that other people are feeling. So first, treat yourself like you would if you were sick, and give yourself 24 hours and allow yourself the comfort things that you need, and let yourself sit in it if you got to sit in it, but don't sit in it for long. That's the thing. Microdose this part too. Don't make yourself feel bad about needing to have some time to yourself, or needing to have a fit, or a long sleep in, or a day off, or PTO, just be fucking cuz. The only way you get better is when you connect with yourself, and you need to do that again. Grounding activities like getting yourself out in nature when you feel better, letting yourself just sit and kind of stare off into space, maybe listening to some music that you like that's gentle. I have a wonderful grounding meditation on my website that's free that you can download. You just jump right on here. And I also make these for people as well. Would love to work with you if you're interested in wanting to work on meditation and things like that too. So feel free to reach out. Just know that you are important and you deserve to be taken care of, and you deserve to be on your own team. So let yourself be where you're at, and then you dust yourself off and try again, because I know you know that song. Okay, those are the messages this week. Would love to hear how they land for you, so please leave them below here, some feedback. Would love to work with you, as I've said before. So please check out my website if you are interested in anything and want to know more or have questions. Please feel free to reach out or leave me a message, and I will get back to you ASAP. All right. Thank you for being here. Know that I see you and I care about you. Feel free to reach out if you need anything ever, and I do mean that. Peace.